Stop with comments like that, because you can really affect someone's mental health. Come get ready with me for my podcast. I'm running a little late, but still need to do this because it's a very important topic. We're going to talk about body dysmorphia, especially with like the latest interview Megan Fox did on Call Her Daddy. I think it's really important that we talk about body dysmorphia because there's a lot of shame behind it all. And it's something that I've experienced and that I have a close relationship with, unfortunately. Let's do it. Okay, so what is body dysmorphia? Well, body dysmorphia is basically when all you see in the mirror are flaws. What you see isn't necessarily what other people see. Body dysmorphia is basically a mental illness that I would say more people suffer, especially people who may be in the entertainment industry or dancers, for example. I was in front of a mirror my whole life, literally, just looking at myself, especially when I was a ballerina from age 4 to 11. All I would do is just look at myself in the mirror and compare myself to the other really like skinny girls. And this is why I stopped ballet at such a young age, was because as soon as I literally grew into my body and I developed at a young age as well. I wouldn't say fun fact, but this is a fact that when kids have gone through, child abuse or sexual abuse, which I have, you develop faster. And I got TMI, but this is what it is. I developed at age 9. I already got my menstrual cycle and I literally grew out of my tights. So one of the signs for me knowing that I, have been dealing with body dysmorphia is if I see myself and I don't like what I see, it could be the littlest thing that nobody even notices. Like, let's say when I was on Dancing with the Stars, when I was in a fitting, that would be such a trigger for me. Literally, if something was too tight or if there was an elastic pinching into my like skin or fat, or if I was like in a fitting and I would try a dance move and I saw a back roll, it would literally consume my whole thought process and my mental health, meaning it would affect my mood throughout the day. So if I was really testy or if I had no patience, it was honestly because of all the self-talk and self-hate that I was saying to myself about my body. I remember recently looking at old pictures of when I danced with Juan Pablo de Pache. I was so skinny, and I remember specifically that week when we did, I think it was like Lindy Hop to like a country song. I was wearing a red fringe dress. I was so skinny, and I just remember thinking how fat I looked, and it got me in such a bad mood because of what I thought I looked like. But my God, I cannot believe that I thought I was fat back then, put it that way. So if you are dealing with something similar, I know, it's probably rare that you're doing fittings every day like we did on the show, but if you look at yourself in the mirror and then it alters your mood, or you become like, you throw temper tantrums, or you're become short-tempered, most likely you're dealing, unfortunately, with body dysmorphia. Both men and women deal with body dysmorphia. If you listen to my interview I did on my podcast, Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans, with Vinny Guadagnino from the Jersey Shore, he also admits to suffering from body dysmorphia. What causes body dysmorphia? Well, first of all, it's a disorder, so it does fall under a mental illness. I think as a dancer, I believe most dancers, even if they don't admit it, have body dysmorphia. Even if you are really skinny, you can still suffer from body dysmorphia. It's basically people who are just looking at themselves in the mirror constantly. And when you dance and you train for dance, they're mirrors. And if you notice, which is super unhealthy, you'll see how I have mirrors everywhere in my house. It's a problem. And it's not like I'm obsessed with myself, like by any means. It's not, don't start freaking commenting like somebody's a little vain. No, it's just that I have been, since I was 4 years old, been put in front of mirrors, been comparing myself to other people, especially other girls my age, or even on the show. Like, there's always this fear behind, is there someone better than me? Is she going to take my job? It's just like, it's a subconscious thing. but you know, you can never be skinny enough. Or like my coach would say to me back in the day, think thin, think thin. I was on this like Hollywood diet, which was a liquid juice, basically. I'll never forget it. We were driving from Denmark to London to Blackpool, where it is the equivalent of like the Olympics for the ballroom world. And I had to pee every 2 seconds because I was on this diet. Did I lose weight? Yes. And the same thing with Ozempic. I know there's this whole thing about it. Oprah just did an interview with Gayle King about how, you know, Ozempic isn't a bad thing. And I don't think it is, but it is a bad thing if you're already at a normal weight and you are thinking because of your body dysmorphia disorder that you need to continue to lose weight and you're willing to do whatever it takes. Nobody can ever say anything to you. This is a disorder you're dealing with. So I don't know. I think for me, like, have I been tempted to do Ozempic? Absolutely. But I don't know. I feel like I'm currently, like I've said before in prior posts, I'm not kidding. You know, I'm on a very strict diet and I still believe in like the old school way of losing weight. I don't know. I hate needles, first of all. So to inject myself with Ozempic isn't necessarily ideal. And I don't like the side effects that it causes. But look, I can never say never. I might try it one day.